Hey guys, it's Megan.
Future Megan here, just letting you know that I did try and cut out as much of my failed breathing as possible.
And today I just wanted to talk about a topic that has been spreading over the platform over the past couple weeks, and that is the ad revenue. There has been a lot of YouTubers complaining about specific things, such as not getting paid enough to live. And I just wanted to put a little bit of perspective into their heads, but they're usually too big to even comprehend other people's struggles, I guess. I really didn't want to single anyone else out. Let's be just honest. Yes, I did. This whole video was about Kendall Rae. Kendall Rae, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, and bitch Lux, the fuck. Alright, I'm gonna give you a quick room tour, guys, for a second. Do you see what this machinery over here is? Do you know what that is? That's my legs, basically. Now, if you haven't seen my video on what's wrong with my face, I explain that I am in a wheelchair for at least 95% of my life. I have had an electric wheelchair since I was 3, and that means that I've had one for 16 years.
Now, I don't want you to get this confused with a manual wheelchair, because a manual wheelchair you can buy from the chemist. Not even kidding, chemists sell manual wheelchairs.
Beside the point, that is my legs. Do you know how much that costs? That's 16 grand. Australia is a first world country, so that means we're quite privileged. However, in a lot of aspects, there are a bunch of certain people who are not. That being people like myself.
I don't want this video to be focused on, oh, I struggle, I'm in a wheelchair, oh my god, pity me, because that's not what this is. And I know a lot of people out there, and they know who they are, will take this like that.
I just want to get something across. Is that thing over there that I just showed you?
I get really emotional at this because it took a lot for me to show my wheelchair publicly, knowing how people on the internet are.
That cost me 16 grand. Yeah? 16 grand. And you're probably thinking, oh, the government just paid for it. But that's not true. Quick little story. I had a wheelchair before this one. When I turned 3, I got my very first electric wheelchair. I'd had manual wheelchairs before, but it was time that I got some independence around the house, as when I was younger, my tibias were very distorted, I guess you could say.
So,
I got cubby. It was a maroon wheelchair. We had to use a lot of different fundraising. I mean, the internet wasn't a thing back then. We had to raise half the money on our own. The government was going to match what we get, kind of, you know? Like, if we had to get 16 grand to pay for the chair. So my family had to try and raise 8 grand. Now, in today's society, you would think that people would be willing to donate to that sort of stuff. But they're not. And that's completely fine, because honestly, have I ever donated to any? Yes, I have actually. However, other people aren't as giving as those. They see people in my cases as, you're not dying, why should we donate to you? Or the kids at school, like I can't remember what grade it was. We'd done a newspaper article. We were trying to raise money for a van so that we could take my electric wheelchair places. I know I said this isn't about me or anything. Like, this is I'm just speaking from personal experience, but guess how much money we raised? We raised 20 bucks. And there's people like you, Kendall Rae, who have the audacity to just sit there and I can't afford my home that I'm building, so please donate to me so I don't have to work hard for my money.
She said because of this, her husband might need to get a job.
As soon as I turned 15, I had applied for a job.
Now, I am basically, I don't know, if you had a scale of how disabled one can be, one being like a vegetable, I hate that word, but that is just literally accurate. And 4 being someone who needs a walking stick, I'm a 2.
And if I can get a job, so can you.
I'm a 2 because I'm not permanently in my wheelchair, but pretty much am. The second I leave the house, I'm in my chair.
However, I was working before my leg got fucked up.
You know, home distances. I can walk around my house. I can walk around a friend's house unless I have a crippling fracture. As I said, We raised $20. Bless that man's soul. Seriously. And if you ever get a chance to watch this and you realize who I am, I mean, it's highly unlikely, but thank you. Seriously. You know, it made me realize that not everyone is a self-centered fuck.
Not saying people that don't donate to causes are selfish fucks, but there are a lot of people out there who really are and don't understand.
Anyway, we did newspaper articles around my local area. I got bullied for that. Kids would turn around and say to me that you're just begging for money. Do you know how that made me feel? Do you know how that made my mother feel? I'll give you a hint. Terrible. And since we haven't really done any fundraising because it's just pointless. In 2012, my mum, her car broke down. And it was like the end of it. It was like as old as me. Now we have this disturbed van, luckily, but my mum had to take out my college savings. That's what it comes down to, you know.
And by that I mean it coming to having to use your daughter's college fund because people were that nasty towards your daughter that you didn't want to have to fundraise again and put her in that position. Also proving that you just gotta have savings there.
I don't know what the hell we would have done if she hadn't have had the savings there. In 2014, I was having surgery on my leg. That meant that I wasn't going to be able to walk. What we didn't know was going to be 9 months.
And a lot of struggles after.
Luckily, we raised enough money to be able to get these massive ass ramps. They're about 20 kilos each. And every time that I need to use my electric wheelchair, my mum has to lift up these giant ramps.
Also, our car's door is broken. She has to start off with unlocking it from the outside, just pulling it slightly, jumps through to the middle and push the door, literally. And then she has to get back out and pull it open. Then she has to go open the boot, grab out these 40 kilos worth of ramps and place them down. Try not to hurt herself. Make sure they're placed in the right place because one slight bit of off placement can make the ramps fall. And then, I mean, I'm kind of screwed, right?
I'm watching her do that every day. Do you know how frustrating that is? Do you know how heartbreaking that is to feel that you're a burden on your family because they have to do so much for you?
My mum can't even work because she's my full-time carer.
I mean, if you have enough money to go to Las Vegas, to go on cruises, to, you know, plan a holiday to Australia. I was so excited because you mentioned that you were coming to Melbourne and I was just like looking forward to it, you know, if you were going to do a mini meetup and then we could talk about conspiracy theories and stuff. Like, I was so pumped for it. My wheelchair's falling apart. My car is falling apart. My mother is in her late 40s. She shouldn't be lifting 40 kilos worth of ramps just to get her daughter in and out of the car. That's just not fair. And our government is so fucked up that they don't even care. My wheelchair tips. When I say it's falling apart, I've had the wheels fall off. I've had the gearbox break. The leather on the sides of my armchairs have ripped. The grips that pull the back of the seat back and forth are broken, and the pedal that moves the whole seat forward and back is broken too.
It's all because how the kids at my high school treated it.
My wheelchair doesn't steer properly.
If it was a car, it'd be deemed unroadworthy immediately.
And I'm not even game enough to try and fundraise the money to get a new one. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, just make a GoFundMe. I can't ask for money. That's just not who I am.
Like the fact that I shared that post where people actually helped out. We raised $9,000, which was amazing. And that means that if we could raise $9,000 back 2 years ago without using a GoFundMe, I'm sure we could do it to get my chair, you know? Because we only have to make half of what the chair is worth and then the government will subside.
But I just hate asking. I hate it when somebody buys me freaking a small fries at McDonald's. You know, I can't do it. It's just not who I am. And then there's people like you, Kendall Rae, that just sit on your floor, Trisha Paytas us, and cry that you can't afford your house because, oh, my job, I basically lost my job. Get a fucking new one. Piece of fucking shit. You should be so ashamed of yourself. And anybody else out there who begs for money, you should be so ashamed of yourself. Do you know why? Because there's other people. There's people in countries that can't even afford to eat. I myself am privileged. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my cupboard. Thanks to my mum. Both thanks to my mum. All thanks to my mum. I have a bed to sleep in. I have blankets to cover me. I have lights. I have the internet. I have a computer. I have so much fucking makeup. I just don't get it. Like, there's people out here that are trying to, you know, they work 6. I saw a comment on your video before you disabled it, you coward, saying, I work 6 jobs and still don't earn as much as you. You know this ad revenue shit? It'll be fixed within, like, give it a couple months. So you can't go on luxury cruises for a couple months. Big whoop-de-doo.
Also, good on you for blaming people for being the reason that this is happening.
I mean, what can you expect from someone that names their dog after a fucking politician that lost the election? But yeah, Kendall Rae, this is my message to you. This is my message to you. This is my message to you. Get a fucking job. And people will be like, oh, but that YouTube is her job. Yeah. But when you get fired, what do? You don't sit at home on your ass crying about it forever. You don't go to your family and friends and you beg them for money. That's just morally wrong. And the fact that you don't have the understanding that that is wrong, like you'll sit there and be like, I don't want to ask for money, then don't. Like, making a GoFundMe to try and raise money for a new chair or a new car is so tempting, considering that there are so many people in this world who are willing to help, you know? I'm gaining a little platform, you know? I'm sure my subscribers would be happy to share it around, but I'm not going to do that unless our car fucking breaks down or my wheelchair stops working completely. With wheelchairs, you can't just get one given to you. You need to have it molded to you. You need to have it fitted. I'm sure your subscribers and your fan base would be A-okay if they got a video once a week or maybe once a month or whatever, if that means that you have to work your ass off outside of your home to be able to stabilise your income. I mean, just look at your Social Blade. We all know Social Blade is kind of actually accurate. I get you. Don't understand how you can be so selfish and pathetic. Also, who the fuck in their right mind would pay $50 to get a follow from you? Hell, like, I just showed you my room. There's Justin Bieber posters fucking everywhere, and I would not pay 50 fucking bucks for him to follow me on Twitter. Oh, and I wouldn't pay $20 to have my name in the bottom of your description. I've had it up to 4'1" with you. Where is your shame? You don't even have any. Oh, and the funniest part of this shit is that you actually liked my tweet saying she has no shame. Basically admitting that you have no shame. But seriously, Kendall, get a fucking job. Stop sitting on your ass complaining that your videos aren't monetized friendly. If it's not monetized friendly, then just stop doing them if you're that desperate for cash. Fucking hell, you've got like over 300,000 subscribers. Take a freaking sponsorship. Talk about a product if you're that desperate.
Other than those essential oil smokes.
God, if some company reached out to me and was like, hey, would you like to do a sponsorship? I would... Done deal! Oh, also the fact that you decided to switch health insurance companies just to get a breast reduction. Try having a spine like mine. I've had 2 spinal surgeries.
And I'm due to have another.
Do you see me getting a breast reduction? Not that there's much to reduct. But do you see me getting one? You can't get breast reductions here unless you pay for a plastic surgeon, I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm gonna leave this here because you're just so fucking pathetic and I really don't have anything else to say except for go fuck yourself. I'm out.